Hello, in this video I will explain HTTP CRUD operation with a simple to-do application, and I will go through each create, read, update, delete operation and show it practically and explain. You will see that step by step. So now I will start with the definition of what is HTTP. So HTTP stand for HTTP stand for Hypertext Transfer Transfer Protocol, that that are the set of defined rules how our server and client communicate with each other. Okay, so now understand let's understand CRUD what are the meaning of these CRUD operations. Let's understand the meaning of these CRUD operations. So the first one is create. So create means to create the data. Create means to read the existing data. Update means update to modify or modify the existing data. So delete means delete or remove the data, remove the existing data. Also, these CRUD operation, these CRUD operation associated with HTTP method. These CRUD operation are associated associated with the HTTP methods. Let's now understand CRUD operation associated CRUD operation associated with which HTTP method. So the first HTTP method is post. So post is associated with create. So every time we have to create some new data or resource, so we use the HTTP post request. Next is the get. To get the existing data from the server, we use get HTTP request. So it will associated with the read, and put is associated with the update. Created update. And delete is associated with the delete or remove. To delete. Okay. So definition. So okay, okay, and now I will show you the practically of how these CRUD operations are performed on the on a to-do application. So this is my to-do application, and when I hit enter a new field or form data, so explain HTTP CRUD operation and a video recorded about it. So I I enter the some data in the input, and when I hit the button, it will request make a HTTP post request to the server. So it will make the request and our resource is created successfully. Now I will show you the code of it, how it actually works. So the code. So this is the code of it. So this is the form for the creating new to do. So when I hit this add button, it will trigger a form submit. And here we have a attribute called action. It will redirecting us to that URL. So that URL I defined in my roots. So I've defined this with the post request. So what does post request do? It will create some new data, and after hitting that route, it will call that create to do controller function. After the control function, control pass the control function, and we go to the control function. Here it will is a function accepting two parameter object called request and response. In the request.body we have the data we in which we filled in our form, and here we destructuring that data and also adding a validation check. If our title is empty, then it will send a HTTP response status 400 that title field is required. If we get our title successfully, then it will creating new resource in our database, and after creating the new resource, it will saving the resource and save that into database and sending a status code 201. That means a new resource created successfully, and after creating it will redirecting us to the to-do page. So this is we see our to-dos here. So we fetch our to-do. Now I will show you this how our application fetching these to-dos. So for that I also define a same route. We go the entry point of application called index.js, and here So for the smash route, I am fetching the data from the to-dos from to-do model, and after getting saving it into a variable to-dos, and after saving that I am directly rendering that to-dos into my template that I'm using EJS and passing that here. After passing that here, I'm using that to-dos here, and if also adding some validation check, if my to-dos length, so it will show no to-do exists yet, please add above once. And if I'm getting to-dos, so I running a loop and creating a dynamic li list, unordered list items, and saving the to-do inside that. So this is my read operation. Now I will show you the edit operation. So if I want to add something or edit some data that are already present, so put I will use put http method, and when I click that edit button, so it will redirect me to the edit page, and it have some pre-filled pre-filled data that are already in our database or existing data. Now I can change that. So title that new to do, old to do, updated, and after hitting that update, it will update our to do and redirecting us to the same to do's page. So now I will explain the coding part of it. And so inside that, so we here our button for the to do, for the edit. So this is a hyperlink, so it will redirecting us to a page with the that id, and redirecting to the edit page, and this is my edit page. After redirecting to that edit page, so our edit page will show us, and it will show us edit page, and we have some pre-filled data, and after updating that data we again hit the submit button, update to do, and it will hit that route API slash v1, means version 1 and to do's, and this will specifying the exact to do id that we are updating. So now we go to the that id. So this first route is about to get the edit page, and the second route to update the to do. So now after that it will pass the control to the to do, update to do. So this first one control function is responsible us for to showing the edit page, and after showing that edit page, it will we see that update to do page, and it will fetching id from the param urls, that id in brackets, and existing data from the form, and up get also we get the new data from here, and it will save update our to do model, with the new data and return that data to the slash or redirect to the to-dos page. So now I will explain the final delete operation. So also I can hit any of that, like delete that. So our to-do is deleted, and where index.js also define a button with a form that goes a submit trigger and action that to that URL, and here my routes for deleting, and pass the control to delete to do, and here my delete to do. So it a function accepting two parameter request and response. We are getting the id from request.params. After getting the id, I am fetching to do by that id, and using the method find by id and delete. If our to do is not found, so we send the response that to do is not found. And if we get to do successfully, so our to do deleted, and redirect us to again with the to do's page. So this is my explanation about the HTTP CRUD operation with a simple to do application.